Hey guys, it's Adrienne. I'm doing this intro in the middle of the night after I've already done the tutorial. But anyways, I got a request for, I had somebody ask me, could I design something that was made with Shauna ball, but wasn't a shawl. Um, so I've got like yarn fuzz stuck to my chapstick. um, so I decided to go with a cowl because I've got a few cakes left over from the Shauna Ball ponchos. And so I figured I would try to do a cowl out of one of those. And I chose the V-stitch because it is, it's lightweight, it's airy. It's very classic, very easy. I actually well, this is how much I have after making one cowl, and I'm thinking this plus the little bit of scrap from the ponchos that I made, or the one that I made out of this color, should be enough to do a second one. So I'm gonna say it'll take probably half of a skein of Shauna ball, maybe a little more than half, depending on what your tension is. God, I'm sorry guys, I'm really tired. I keep losing my train of thought. I did use a 6mm hook. Also, if you're interested, this pattern, the printable written version is available in my Etsy shop. Yay, that's 2 crochet patterns I got in there. Anyways, I think that pretty much covers it. It's a really simple cowl pattern. There's not a whole lot to it. Very beginner friendly. I hope you guys enjoy it. If so, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think in the comments. In the meantime, am gonna go to bed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Alright, so for this cowl tutorial, I am just using this is the scraps from, this was what was left over from my Shauna Ball poncho in the color Half Moon. And then I'm going to use this, which is left over from making the first cowl. So between the two of them, I'm thinking I should have enough to do a second one in the same color. This is the first one. I'm sure y'all seen the pictures that I'll put them at the beginning of the tutorial video. So I am using a 6mm hook, and if you're not already familiar with Shauna Ball, it is a cotton acrylic blend, and it's medium weight 4. It's got quite a halo on it. So to start out, I am going to do a chain of 93, which the size of your cowl can be adjusted by increasing or decreasing the number of starting chains. I did 93, but if you want to increase it, you're going to do a multiple of 3. So it's gonna, I mean, you can increase it as much as you want or decrease it as much as you want, as long as your total number of chains is a multiple of 3. So I am gonna go ahead and chain up 93 for my cowl, and I will meet back up with you guys as soon as I have that finished. Okay, so I've got my chain of 93, and the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna slip stitch in the first chain to form a ring. So let me make sure my chain is not twisted. You always want to make sure that your chain's not twisted up. Okay, so I'm just gonna slip stitch right in there. Right in there. I'm sorry, I'm not staying in frame. So to start the first round, you're going to chain up 2, and then you're going to V-stitch into that same chain. And if you're not familiar with the V-stitch, it just consists of 1 double crochet, and then you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to double crochet back into that first chain. And that's your first V-stitch. I never count that starting chain 2 as a stitch. I know some people do, but I don't ever count it as a stitch. I just don't like the way it leaves kind of like a, I don't know, it looks weird to me, so I never count it. So we're gonna skip 2 stitches and then V-stitch again into the next stitch. This first row is always a doozy, I think. It's always the hardest round. So skip 2 chains and then V-stitch in the next. Skip 2 chains, V-stitch in the next. I'm hoping you guys can see what I'm doing. I can't really see very well what I'm doing through the camera. So I'm going to meet back up with you guys. I'm going to go all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you when I get to the end right here. And yeah, I'll be back momentarily. Alright, I'm back. And this is what it's starting to look like. You can see that I've reached all the way around. And there's gonna be 2 chains left, and rather than slip stitch to join, what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this over like this to make our Mobius twist, and then we're gonna V-stitch into the base of this V-stitch, which is actually gonna be like, it'll be the other side of your foundation chain is what it is. Just like that. Let me arrange my yarn a little bit here. And if you want to crochet over the top of this little tail, you can. I usually just go back in and weave it in with a yarn needle. So your next stitch is going to go right there. And it's really easily identifiable because it's almost like you're putting it into the base of your V-stitch, but really you're actually working into the other side of your foundation chain. You're just going to put another V-stitch in there. And you're just going to keep doing that all the way around. Eventually, what will happen is you'll go all the way around and eventually you'll meet back up right here. So I will meet back up with you guys when I get all the way around right here. You just follow along, putting your V-stitches in the other side of your foundation chain. And then I will meet back up with you guys when I get to the end of my row. Alright, so I'm back at my starting point, and you can see now there is V-stitches on either side of my foundation chain, and there's also this little twist. That's your Mobius twist. So to end round 1, you're going to slip stitch into the first double crochet to join the round, and then you're going to slip stitch into that chain 1 space, and then chain up 2, and then you're going to V-stitch in the chain 1 space made by the V-stitches from the round before. So it's going to look like this. Let me see if I can. There we are. And rounds 2 through 13 are just a repeat of this. You're just going around and you're going to do a V-stitch in every V-stitch from the round before. And when you get back to your starting point, you just slip stitch to join and then slip stitch to get to that chain 1 space of your V-stitch. Now for my cowl, I did a total of 13 rows, which was good for me, but you can adjust your length by doing more or less rows of V-stitches. And I'm going to work up maybe 5 or 6 rows, and then I will meet back up with y'all so that you can see what it looks like. But it's a very simple pattern. I mean, that's all it is just the rows of V-stitch. And you know, you can make it as tall or short as you want. It's really up to you. It's very, very adjustable. Alright, so I'm back. I finished my first ball of scrap yarn. I'll have to reattach this one. So this is what mine's starting to look like. This is just the one side, and then if you turn it over, you can see that little twist, and that's your Mobius twist. It's the little twist that hangs in the front of the cowl around your neck. One thing I did want to mention is when you're counting your rows, you're not going to count from down here. You're going to start counting in the middle where your foundation row is. So, for example, I've only done four rows. There's my foundation row. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I just wanted to let y'all know that's how you would count your rows. Like I said, I only did a total of 13 in my first one. But you can make it as long or short as you want. And I mean, once you're finished with the number of rows that you prefer, fasten off and weave in your ends, and you've got yourself a Mobius twist V-stitch cowl. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I know it's nothing new, it's nothing special. I know there's probably tons of similar cowl tutorials out there, but you know, it's just a real quick one skein wonder, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you guys in my next video.